Carmel, how long now have you been bitten by the Lourdes bug?
Well, this year will be my 16th year.
16.
Yes.
Goodness gracious. How did it all start for you?
Well, it all started because a son of mine, Damien, cycled out to Lourdes in '98 with the Abbey Grammar School. The pupils, the A-level pupils, cycled out as a fundraising for our group, and he came home and he informed me that they needed a nurse for the next year.
How are you a nurse?
Yes, I'm a nurse.
That's what pulled you in. Yeah.
He volunteered me, and I said to him, Damien, I couldn't possibly go.
And did you volunteer your daughter Neve then, subsequently?
Neve came into the group when she heard all about it. Once you go once, Rowan, you're smitten and you can't wait for the next year to go back.
Neve, this is a group of youngsters who went out in 1960. When was that? Well, that was 62 group.
That's group 62, that's our group number.
That's your number?
Yeah, so that is a group, what year that was?
2011.
2011.
Yeah.
And who have we got here? These are youngsters from where?
So we take young people from all across Newry, right from Belfast, Warrenpoint, Burn, all around the area. There's 9 children come each year in the group, and we have 13 helpers each year.
They look, there's the one thing, I'm seeing smiling faces here. Why are they not sad?
Because it's the best week they've ever had.
Really?
Yeah.
Really and truly. And what you say once you go, you're there. What is it? What's the magic thing that holds you?
I can't describe, Rowan, what it's like. You have to go to try and describe the people. People would say to me, why do you go and work very hard for a week, pay your own way and come home exhausted? What do you get out of it? You have to go to realise the joy, the happiness. The children are absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
We have another picture here, you see, and we can talk about it as well. That's the first, that's the group. Ah, look, there we are. This is a lad who's challenged in many ways, very splendid in other ways. And there's a helper reaching to him, and he's reaching to the helper. It's a beautiful image of human contact and companionship and help.
The children are all need all different levels of care, you know, and when they come, we visit them prior to going out to Lourdes, several visits, just to learn their needs and their abilities. We let them do as much as they can do for themselves, and then help them whenever they need a wee bit of help.
Carmel, with this lad, for example, would he know the significance of Lourdes and what he's going to do?
Well, he knows that he's going out to a holy place. He knows that he will meet other people with other disabilities.
And the same can be said of these kids. This wee kid here, this person would know going to a holy place.
Oh God, this child could buy and sell us. She was the joy of our week. She is a great personal friend of ours now. Neve and I and the group take her ever since we come back from Lourdes, and she made the week for us.
My goodness. A little girl like this can make the week for you.
She did, because she was so much fun.
Full of laughter.
Full of laughter, full of laughter.
You can see it there.
Morning and night. We couldn't describe.
What energy.
When you meet her, you don't see the disability or the problem.
To what extent does she see the disability? No. She reckons she's okay.
Well, they all are aware of what their disability, but if you meet them in person, we don't look at the disability, we see past it and see the child.
Of course you do.
And it is just a fantastic week
like
for them.
My wee boy of India, I went to India to rescue a child, and the little boy, he'll say to you, he's very severely challenged. Tiny right arm, no left arm, wobbly little left leg, no right leg, big problems. But he'd say, I don't mind being like this. It's the way God wants me to be. And then he'd want to say, I can do anything. It just takes me a wee bit longer.
Yes.
That's kind of the spirit of these people as well.
Well, we complain every day about wee things in life. But when you see all those children that come to Lourdes, the joy and the happiness that we have experienced from day one of going out to Lourdes, we come back different people at the end of the week.
Now, tell me, if you would, a typical day for folk in... Oh, look at that. Happiness. Happiness is a hug. Look at that. Is that... I know that fellow. Is that young McCrum? No?
No.
I know that lad.
That lad is from Banbridge.
He's a Banbridge lad.
And he fell in love with Claire, one of our great helpers, and
there was a marriage by the end of the week.
There was a marriage. We had to have a wedding at the end of the week that year.
God love them. They're full of fun.
Full of fun, and full of innocence.
Absolutely.
And all want to help one another.
Yeah.
They're all great at doing wee jobs. And
isn't it interesting that there's that sense of human responsibility? That even in their difficulties, they know that they want to do something good.
Yeah, well, I think in school, you know, when they're among children, they see that other children need help, and what they can't do, they do for other children as well. You know, they do.
Beautiful.
It is in Lourdes. They're left very to get on with what they can do. You know, and it's a holiday that they didn't expect, and a different experience in life.
And what kind of what's an average day, a normal day for folk?
An average day, we would get up early in the morning.
What's
Each
early?
day is different. Could be 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. The helpers, each child has a helper.
Yeah.
There's 9 children in our group and 13 helpers. The nurse and the priest and the group leader are extra to help everybody. But we get up at 7 o'clock, help everybody to get washed and dressed and changed, down for breakfast, and then we go out during the day. We could have mass in the morning time or mass in the afternoon, whatever suits us. We have a priest in the group so we can arrange our masses. Each group has their own mass, and then on the Tuesday and the Thursday we all come together, and there's groups. The Irish Mass is the Tuesday, and on the Thursday we have 5,000 at Mass.
5,000?
Yes.
From every nation?
From everywhere, everywhere. Germany, America, Croatia, all different groups from all over the world.
Again, the all-pervasive happiness and pride. That's what you've got there.
Well, they all get they have responsibility for doing wee jobs. Some of them like to carry the banner. Some of them like to push the wheelchairs within reason, you know.
And well dare you take the job away from them.
Oh, well dare.
Yeah, absolutely. Niamh, you're a young person.
Yeah.
It's, forgive me for saying, it's maybe unusual for a young person to be so altruistic, reaching out to others in the way that you do. What motivates you as a young person?
Well, I grew up with Mum going, and I always would have attended. There's always a reunion after the week they come back, so I was always part of that. I was always part of the group as a child, going to different functions and different things. And then the opportunity came up when I was in 7th year at the Sacred Heart. I was a standby helper as somebody dropped out, and I was asked to go.
Yeah.
And ever since then, as we said, once you go once, you can't stop.
Yeah.
And I actually missed last year because I was in Australia, and it was the worst week not being there. So I can't wait for this year.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
And there is a high point, isn't there? There's the procession that occurs, and the candles,
That's right.
and the singing. Tell me about that.
It's a very emotional night, the night of the candles, you know, because it's just picturing the scene of thousands of people. The children are allowed to carry a candle with the supervision of the helper.
Yes.
And there's a procession, a candlelit procession, and it's just, the singing is beautiful, and it's all nations come together that night.
What has it done? I'm not automatically linking what you do with holiness and spirituality.
Yeah.
But, you know, you're doing it, it's a human thing for a start. But what does this outreach do for your personal spiritual crusade?
Well, it gives me satisfaction that I'm helping other people. I'm also giving the parents of the children a break for a week and reassuring them that their child will be well looked after.
Yeah.
I would treat every child, as we all do in the group, as I would want my children looked after. It's a very big undertaking for parents to let a child go, you know, in today's climate with strange people. So we get to know them the week before, the weeks before we go, and it's our responsibility.
But it is a huge thing for these children, because for these young people, because, you know, it's outside their norm, possibly a wee bit outside their comfort zone, and it certainly can be an adventure.
Oh, that's what we always find. The first day and the first evening, they're all quite nervous. They're all still getting to know each other and fit into the group. But come the Saturday we're going home, there's tears because nobody wants to leave.
Nobody wants
to go home.
But then you manage that when you come back because you have the reunions that you spoke of.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And do they all remember each other and hugs and fun and laughter?
Oh God, they do. And they're all on emails and computers, and they can communicate with one another.
Yes.
You know, they can't wait for the reunion.
Yes.
And we make a DVD when we're out there, and it does take us a couple of months when we come home to get the DVD all together.
Of course. Ah, look, it's just the happiness thing that takes me to the fair completely. If there were, I think heaven is filled with people like this, you know, who are courageous and doing their best in everything they do. But it takes a lot of money to do this.
It takes an awful lot of money, and each group has to raise 12,000. Now, there are 9 children in that group, and every year we have to raise 12,000. All the helpers pay their own fare.
Yes.
So anything that we raise in fundraising is straight for the children. And we have raised, we have bagpacks, night of the races.
Collections
Outside churches and
football matches.
Oh God, everything that you can think of, we've tried to raise. Pub quizzes.
Yeah, it's almost emotional for me because I've seen folk collecting. I would have given money as I passed by. But as a consequence of hearing your story and seeing your pictures, I'll certainly give more in the future.
Yeah.
Because I now understand more about what you do, you know.
Yes.
And where did the organized pilgrimages, when did that all start as a formal organized thing? Or has it always been there?
Well, it started off in England with the IHCPT, as it was known, and then just over 40 years ago, the Irish Pilgrimage Trust was set up as a result of in England, and then it just spread worldwide. There's groups from America, Croatia, Germany,
South Africa,
everywhere. So over 40 years ago, the Irish Pilgrimage Trust was set up, and there was a big celebration there a couple of years ago out in Lourdes.
Goodness gracious! And is it also a special moment when you all come to the grotto?
I can't describe
The
what it's
grotto
like.
is maybe a high
It's
high point.
very peaceful.
At the
Very
grotto.
peaceful. The children will be starting to talk throughout the week. You know, about some of them will talk about their disabilities. Some want a cure. Some they see other children. They hear from other children who have been out the year before, who are in their schools and in their classrooms and in their communities, and they can't wait to go. But the grotto is so peaceful. It's just a feeling comes over you when you're at the grotto that the children are so quiet and so peaceful and so calm when they're there. You know, they all seem to understand that it is a peaceful, quiet place.
Also the place where the Mother of God came down to earth and stood and blessed people.
That's
and
right.
Started the whole thing off.
That's right.
Goodness gracious. Now you're going to the Shamrocks soon. When is it?
It's next Saturday night, the 8th of March.
That's Saturday, the 8th of March.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to take a note of this if you're in our area. And if you're not in our area and want to help, you can send us some money for the ladies, Carmel and Neve. For the children, you just send us the money to Destination Newry, Railway Avenue, Newry, and we'll get that money to you. But if you are in Newry, it's Saturday, the 8th of March.
Yes.
Saturday, the 8th of March. What time?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock in the Newry Shamrocks Football Club.
Yeah.
Down there, which Damien, your son, your other son who started you on this, and I know very, very well because I used to play football there as a boy.
Oh, did you?
A long time ago. I went to Belfast at 17, and that was the end of my footballing with the Shamrocks. But until then, I played football there. And we know the Shamrocks, we know the good that is the Shamrocks.
Yeah.
And we wish you well. And this has
you.
been very, very good. Have you anything else you'd like to say to the people before we draw the curtain on this part of the adventure?
All we would say, no matter how small, you know, we appreciate any help we get. Every penny we get, as I say, goes towards the children, and it is very much appreciated, all the help.
You see, that's the huge thing. Every penny goes to the children, and we've seen the happiness. We can make a difference, either by sending the folks some money, or indeed by going to the Shamrocks on Saturday the 8th at 9 o'clock in the evening. So we wish you good luck.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Thank
and
you.
have a wonderful pilgrimage this year to Lourdes. Good
Please
luck.
God.
Take care. You will. You'll go well.